2024 Volvo EX90. Volvo's move to an all-electric lineup proceeds with the presentation of a modern lead SUV called the EX90. It'll be situated over the gasoline-powered XC90 when it goes on deal as a 2024 demonstrate. Its styling borrows components from the concept Energize, a peer car from 2021, and looks sleeker than the XC90 without abandoning quintessential Volvo styling components such as the Thor's hammer-driven headlamp signature and vertically situated taillights. A 496 horsepower electric powertrain will be standard and, judging by the less effective and littler C40 Energize and XC40 Energize SUVs, this setup ought to give bounty of punch for speeding up. A huge battery pack is said to deliver the X90 a driving run of approximately 300 miles per charge, and it can be rejuiced by means of a DC fast charging association. Volvo has said that the X90 will too exhibit the brand's next-generation driver assistance innovation, counting a modern driver monitoring framework that can take activity to assist the driver in case it identifies trouble or diversion. The X90 is a totally modern nameplate for Volvo and one that will serve as the brand's beat show when it goes on deal in late 2024. Estimating and trim levels have not been formally reported, but we anticipate the electric X90 to carry a cost premium over the gasoline-powered XC90 SUV. Volvo moreover has as of late reshuffled its trim level offerings. We think the X90 will follow to the modern convention, which would see a base-centered trim, a mid-range additionally variation, and a stacked extreme show. All X90s will come with a dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain, but the entry-level twin-engine show makes 402 drive, whereas the twin-engine execution variation makes 496 drive. The drive design is unused and is likely shared with the as-of-late debuted Polestar 3, which can be had with an indeed higher output 517 HP form of the framework. Increasing speed ought to be brisk indeed, in spite of the fact that the X90 will likely tip the scales at the next control weight than its gasoline-powered simple, the XC90. Volvo says the twin-engine show ought to be able of hitting 60 miles per hour in 5.7 seconds, whereas the twin-motor performance ought to do the deed in 4.7 seconds. Onboard could be a 111 kWh battery pack that Volvo says ought to convey around 300 miles per charge. DC quick charging capability is standard and is said to need as small as 30 minutes to juice the battery from 10 to 80%. The EV engineering utilized within the X90 moreover permits for bi-directional charging, which suggests you'll be able to snare it up to your house to control machines amid a control blackout or utilize it to charge another Volvo EV in the event that required. A moderate insides plan puts most of the X90's controls on an expansive touchscreen infotainment framework. The C is clean and classically Scandinavian, but it may be annoying to drivers who incline toward physical buttons and switches on their dashboards. The insides feels open and breezy, much obliged to a huge glass roof, and there's room for 7 riders, much obliged to a standard third push of seats. Calfskin upholstery has been expelled from the choices sheet in the interest of eco-friendliness, but the materials utilized instep see high-end, particularly the accessible fleece texture that's mixed with plastic recuperated from RTHE X90 highlights a expansive, portrait-style 14.5-inch infotainment show that runs the company's most recent Google-based infotainment interface. It highlights in-dash route fueled by Google Maps and has get-to exterior apps through the Google Play Store. Remote Apple CarPlay and a 5G cellular information association are both standard. A Bowers & Wilkins stereo framework is accessible as an alternative and highlights Dolby Atmos innovation and 25 speakers, counting ones implanted into the X90's headrests, e-cycled bottles. The EPA hasn't discharged fuel economy gauges for the X90 however, but we anticipate it to be competitive with other extravagance electric SUVs such as the BMW X and the Rivian R1S. When we get a chance, we'll take the X90 on our 75 mph interstate fuel economy test course and overhaul this story with its comes about.